Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Witch on the Holy Night. So, last episode we continued our extra story and a couple people are now gone again. So, let's continue and let's see if we can get the culprit this time. So, let's go. Alright, let's load this one. I woke up to the sound of birds chirping. The clock read 5:30. The sun was beginning to peek over the horizon. My ability to rise early was one of my few strong points, so I must have been really exhausted. I foggily examined my wrinkled clothes in the mirror. My body was still asleep. I was too tired to even make tea, so I just grabbed my wallet and card case off the table. The case contained my commuter pass and some pictures I took each year. Oh, this is the picture. That's why Tobimaro was laughing. A picture of Aoko in a bunny attire. I had a rare shot of Aozaki making a fool of herself at this year's school festival. She either drank champagne thinking it was a soft drink, or someone asleep or slipped alcohol in the juice cocktail. Next thing I knew, she was all hyper, yelling about wearing someone else's clothes. I got a great shot of her with my disposable camera. I loved that photo so much I carried it with me in my card case everywhere I go. You have a picture like this everywhere you go. Okay. Whenever I felt down, it always cheered me up to look at it and remember how adorable Aozaki could be. It was a side of herself that nobody else knew, or who knew her would expect. Especially her comedic side. Wait a second. Did I just think something I really shouldn't have? That would be incredibly bad to bring up now. I rifled through my overnight bag to see if anything might be of use. Turns out the stuff I brought to cook with was worth bringing. Oh yeah, didn't she bring a wok or something? She actually brought it. My god. I hovered over the wok or the cleaver, ultimately deciding to take the wok with me. I went out into the hallway. The air was slightly cooler than inside the guest room. Silence had fallen over the mansion once again. There was no sound, no sign of life. It was like the storm never happened. Shukiji's room was empty. Shizuki wasn't in Father Aries' room. Nobody was in Ritsuka's room either. I called out into the void of the west wing, but got no response. I was alone. I headed down the basement where Aozaki was confined. Down a narrow staircase to a door. The padlock had been broken clean off from the outside.
Aozaki!
I braced myself for whatever was to come and opened the door. So it still happened to Aoko. This is what really happened. Inside the tiny cellar, I saw a dead body lying face down. The beautiful long hair was all I needed to see to know that it was Aozaki. She wasn't breathing. She'd scrawled something with her left hand in her last moments. It was a dying message written in blood. I could feel the disdain in the words.
やっぱりって言うな。やっぱり。
Told you so. Sure you did, or you sure did. Aozaki wasn't the killer. It wasn't clear when she was murdered. But whoever the killer was broke the lock, made her laugh nonchalantly, and went upstairs and... I tried to control my breathing and my racing mind. Everything or everyone was dead. Wait, what? Everyone was dead. Probably only the killer and I were left. But the sun was already up. Wait, not completely. If the rule said it ended in the morning, then the game wasn't over yet. I had to get out of here now and figure out who the killer is. There was no winning this unless I did something. Everyone was dead. No turning back now. Oh, decision time again. Decision time. We don't have any space there. Okay, so let's just save this in this one. You should keep running. Should try to guess. We'll do this one first. Should keep running until morning. I think it would be best to run away until the morning.
Are?
Something felt off for a second there. It was as if my decision was completely different from the words that came from my mouth. What did she say?
それどころじゃない。早く逃げないと。
The game would end if I could just keep from getting caught until sunrise. As long as I survive, sweethearts wouldn't win. The storm was over. If I could just make it to the city, everything would go back to normal.
Uso.
I'd been heading downhill all this time, so how did I end up behind the mansion? The ground distorted. My senses went haywire. The world crumbled. I must have done something wrong. Suddenly, a voice whispered in my ear.
皆殺しおめでとう
Congratulations on killing everyone. It was a voice of terror that I never heard before. Yet it sounded so familiar. That sounded like Sojiro though. A bad end? It's not a dead end anymore. Bad end. Okay. Well, let's load again. But yeah, why did it say congratulations on killing everyone? What did she kill everyone? Did Kumari kill everyone? Inadvertently? I thought I should try to deduce who the killer is.
落ち着け。もう条件は揃ってるはず。
I controlled my breathing and began to organize the facts in my head. I didn't have the decisive answer to the killer's motive, method, or identity. There was only one thing I knew for sure. Tsukiji had said it many times. It's not about who committed the murders, but rather who could have committed the murders. The first murder took Kitsu's capture and death by explosion. We could exclude the following suspects: me, Miss Kawanji, Tsukiji, Hosuke, Father Eri, and Sister Yuika. Yamasiro's fabulous funeral. Impossible to rule any suspects out. At a stretch, we could maybe exclude Miss Kawanji. We don't know when Mr. Yamashiro was killed, but we were all looking around after Tokitsu's murder. It's unlikely the murder was committed within the 10-minute gap, but we couldn't rule it out completely. Hosuke and Riddle. Who cares? Who cares? Bayo, number 4. It can't have been me because I didn't search for Aozaki's sister, and neither couldn't have Tsukiji, Shizuki, or Ritsuka. The 5th one, Father Aries' web. We were in the foyer, so it couldn't have been me, Tsukiji, Ritsuka, Miss Koonji. The 6th one, the Yuika statue. This one didn't matter either. The 7th, Elder Aozaki's death by alcohol poisoning. This might actually have been the first murder in the timeline. We could exclude maybe only Miss Koonji, barely. That's everything I knew. Now it came down to a simple process of elimination. Who was the invisible killer who made everyone laugh? I think the killer must be... Decision time. Oh, we can choose like this. Can we save first? How about I choose... I think it's Sojiro, right? I think it's Sojiro, but... Let's choose someone that's wrong. Let's see what happens. Let's try Alice, yeah. Well, let's just see what happens.
ダメ。根拠が薄い。これで指摘したら私がアウトだ。
I didn't know who the killer was, but we were the only ones left in the mansion. If I made a random guess and ended up being eliminated, I was finished. In that case, maybe I should just make a run for it and win the game that way. Oh, she's gonna run again.
あなた。
Soldier, I told you, Soldier. As a shadowy figure crept up behind me, it raised its hands as if to say hello.
我々は宇宙人だ。
My God. She's laughing. The primitive directness of his greeting caught me off guard.
しずき。あんたが犯人だったの？
そうだ。我々はやったぜやったぜ。
いや、その演技はいいから。
She smacked it off. I struggled to inject calm into my voice and to keep my arms and legs from shaking. That voice really was something. So much that I was more concerned with making it stop than whodunits or howdunnits.
我々は火星人だ。
It's back. We are Martians.
そういう話でもなくて。いいから真面目に話せバカ。私笑っちゃったからもうすぐ死ぬのよ。せめて最後にどうしてこうなったのかをぶちまけて。
すまないがそれは説明できない。俺が話せるのは俺の事情だけだからだ。
What was that supposed to mean? Shizuki could only talk about himself. Does that mean there was someone else?
くまり、君にわかるだろうか。1年間ひたすら冗談のセンスがないと言われ続けた男の気持ちが。
Okay.
パーティーを盛り上げようと勇気を振り絞るたびにお呼びじゃないと突っ返される男の気持ちが。
よし、わかった。ぶん殴る。
I didn't even want to think about this anymore, but did he seriously do all this to prove he has a sense of humor? I'd say he failed the moment he put on that ridiculous disguise. But was that any reason to help a murderer?
でもそれで笑うのは青崎とクオンジさんぐらいよ。そんな一発芸で笑う文明人が他にいるはずがない。
いや、でもくまりは。
What? No one but you.
本当にぶん殴るわよ。
ごめんなさい。なんでもないです。
あれでしょ？築地たちを笑わせたのは青崎の写真でしょ？
そうだ。あれこそ切り札だ。同時にそれは俺への報酬でもある。
So it was Komari's photo. Yeah, I mean Aozaki's photo technically, but it was Komari's. Any of the guys who knew Aozaki would laugh at the picture of her. particularly Mr. Yamashiro, Tsukiji, and Father Eri.
つまり犯人は
It's her. I tried to speak, but the words didn't come out. I'd played right into Sweetheart's hands. The killer Shizuki was the last person left standing while I'd failed to guess correctly and just stood here mind blank. I was just one step away. I'd almost figured it all out. If I just focused more in the evening and thought it through a bit more. Bad end. Again, so yeah, we'll choose Sojiro first, I guess. They're pretty much implying that Kumari is the one who killed because of her photo. But we'll see. But yeah, we'll choose Sojiro first. It was Shizuki. If the facts were pointing to anyone, it was him. He knew this mansion inside and out. He'd been helping out with the birthday party so he could move about freely without raising suspicion. But the biggest piece of evidence was the glaring discrepancy between his and Miss Kawanji's alibis. Shizuki said he was in the mansion in the morning, however that's not what his landlady said. She said that no one was around to help, so she locked the place up herself. If she did that on a regular basis, she wouldn't have bothered to mention that. Miss Kawanji wanted either Shizuki or Aozaki to lock the doors. Aozaki said she was in town in that morning. That's likely why her sister was able to enter her room. Shizuki lied about being at the mansion at the time.
決め手がそれだけっていうのがなんとも弱いけど
I felt that there was more I could pin on him, but I wasn't sure what right now. I had to find Shizuki before morning. He's right there. Someone was behind me.
あんたが犯人ねしずき
She used the walk and smacked him. Eat this. I took up my trusty walk and swing it as hard as I could before he could lay a hand on me. It connected harder than it should have. Shizuki, I only saw him briefly, but I knew it was him. He collapsed to the ground and a strange item tumbled onto the floor. It was a kind of cheap fake glasses and nose you'd find in any bag of party favors.
そんなんで笑わせるとかあり
The only ones who would were Miss Kawanji, who didn't get out much, and Aozaki, who thought so much of Shizuki. Whatever, I started running. As long as I've guessed the killer correctly, I've beaten the game. Maybe Shizuki would recover and come after me. I decided to escape through the foyer. If I could make it to the forest outside, I'd win. It had to be morning by now. It was still dark outside. What? How? How was it still dark out?
あなたよくもやってくれたわね
A resentful female voice broke from the foyer. Wait, female? But who was it? I thought Shizuki was the killer. Run, just run. I was confused, but I could still run. I tripped and fell. As I stood up, I tried to take a second to think. I was mistaken. The game was still on. If that was true, then Sweetheart had won. Shizuki was the killer. I was sure of it. I'd said it out loud and I was still alive, wasn't I? Remember the rules. If you accuse someone and you're wrong, you die. As long as I was still alive, Shizuki had to be the killer. Was I wrong? Was I missing something?
さっきの犯人当て、あれがヒントなのは間違いない。考えるんだ、順序立てて、そもそも何が原因なのか。
I heard footsteps getting louder. Morning was almost here. This is my last and only chance. Okay, let's save. So what would he say? Isumi Skonji a neat freak. Toki to come to this party. 2 types of murders. Ritsuka. Names define us. I think this is the only thing we could say correctly, right? I'll go with the correct one this time. Maybe this one. Are there 2 types of murders? Yeah. There had to be 2. Yeah, 2. It was impossible to explain things if there was only one method. But what if there were 2? First, to consider the nature of the murders. They could be divided up into the times the killer made the victim laugh, and times when the victim saw a dead body and laughed. Hosuke, Riddle, and Sister Yuka fell under the latter self-destructive category, yes. But it might have applied to another victim too. Bayo. Bayo died outside the sunroom after he laughed, but there was nothing in the sunroom that could have made him laugh. It was unlikely anything had been set up in the forest, not when the weather was so bad. So the trap must have been laid inside, but not in the sunroom. What about above the sunroom on the 2nd floor? Aozaki's bedroom was directly above the sunroom. Maybe someone had asked Bayo to look into Aozaki's room from the outside, and then Bayo had seen something. Toko out of her mind and dead drunk. I guess Bayo knew Toko well. Bayo, and then there was definitely a chance he'd laughed if he saw her like that. It was ingenious as traps went. Either way, even if he didn't laugh, the person who asked him simply told him to check so they wouldn't seem suspicious. It would only make people suspect Aozaki sooner.
殺害方法は2種類あったんだ。犯人による直接的な方法と、その後の犠牲者を利用した二次災害。それと同じように。
There were 2 killers. Riddle's suggestion, Chikiji's suspicions. Theme of 2, intimate betrayal, 2 minds, 1 body. Sweet Heart, the prayer ploy Kickshaw. In retrospect, it was such a revealing name. If Sweet referred to its pudding body, then what about the heart?
人間だ。敵は複数形だった。
That meant that there were 2 sweethearts. In this game, the killer and the prime suspect had to be separate people. The prime suspect used the ploy, while their accomplice carried out the killings. Shizuki merely played the role of the suspect. I had guessed correctly, but I hadn't seen the full picture. Then, or that must be why I wasn't out of the woods yet, so to speak.
待って待って待って待って待って。
Wait 1 steer-fired second.
それならもう答えは明白。あとはほら、あの問題を検証すればいいだけだ。
Oh, we gotta save again. Who has magical energy? Activate. Who's always being watched by everyone? We'll go this one. Only one of them could have caused this all to happen. I considered who could have activated the ploys. Right. Our prime suspect was... Yeah, let's just save again. Honestly, it's pointing to her. Yeah, we'll just say it. Was there a simpler explanation? Because I might have been wrong all along. I'm the last survivor. I'm sure now because everything happened the way I decided it should be. What are we saying here? We could say this or this. I kind of feel this one.
私だ。
It could only be me. The fact that everything had gone just the way I thought was proof above all that I was sweethearts. And as sweethearts, I couldn't remember anything that worked against me. I had to look at this objectively. Who activated the ploy kick show on the day of the party? The answer was no one. Miss Kawanji personally locked the room where she stored her ploys. No one could possibly break inside. As long as there weren't any special tricks, we could eliminate that possibility entirely. It was only logical. Therefore, if someone took the ploy, they had to have done it before today. They would have broken in before she locked the vault. Only someone who had accidentally come on the first day of the long weekend would have had the opportunity. So why did they come on the first day by mistake? Simple, the invitation itself was wrong. A birthday party will be held at the start of the long weekend. The blockhead who wrote that on the invitations sent them out to 3 people total. Of those people, Toko probably had it all figured out, but she laughed at something she wasn't expecting, so that took care of her. Mr. Yamashiro, he'd said that he'd gotten his invitation that morning. Everyone else had received theirs before that. It's highly likely that it was delivered directly to his mailbox instead of being mailed. If Shizuki was working with the prime suspect, then they likely edited the invitation. Shizuki became an accomplice on the first day and then invited Mr. Yamashiro on the morning of the second day. This was to hide the fact that the prime suspect was accidentally invited on the first day. Mr. Yamashiro wasn't just invited to be killed, but to act as an alibi for the culprit. Then there was me. I was sure the party would be on the first day of the long weekend. Based on all that information, the only people who could have activated the ploys were me and Shizuki. I could only imagine the kind of hospitality he must have offered Kojika Kumari for suddenly showing up on the wrong day. But it wasn't unreasonable that he'd put out tea and snacks for a fellow schoolmate. The problem is where did Shizuki obtain those snacks from?
ああ、気づいちゃったか。もう少しで私の勝ちだったのに、あの子も予想以上にうまくやっていたんだけどな。
What's this? Just then, from the mansion, another me appeared from the mansion, the one who had Shizuki chasing me. An evil one. Evil Kumari.
あんたがスイーツハーツ。
I got up my knees to face my other self. She nodded yes, admitting defeat.
そういうあなたもスイーツハーツだけどね。私は彼に化けていた方で、あなたは彼女に化けていた方。でもあなたはクマリコジカと完全に同じだから、スイーツハーツとしての記憶を持ってるのは私だけだけど。あっそ。じゃあ消えて。これでゲームクリアでしょ。もうじき完全に日が昇るわ。いいの？クリアしちゃって。このままならあなたの勝ちなのに。勝者の報酬は惜しくないの？
What a surprise.
何それ。聞いてない。どういうこと？クマリコジカが私を食べるとき、何を願って、何を迷っていたかって話。 終わりたくない。もっと今がこの半熟卵みたいな曖昧な生活が続けばいいと思ったでしょ。なんで高校生活は3年だけなのか。どうして自分はあんな無駄な時間を過ごしたのか。なんで素直になれなかったのか。そういうの全部ひっくるめて叶えてあげるのが私、願掛け卵思春期限定女の子限定のプロイキッシャースイーツハーツなの。どう？納得いった？納得なんていくわけないでしょ。脳書きはいいし、何があったかなんて知りたくもないから。もうおしゃべりはたくさん。ノータイムでリセットよ。あんたはここで。だって私の使用条件は片思。
At the end of the day
消えて。犯人はしずき、使用者は私、くまり小鹿よ。
We should just stop it. Come on.
そんな女の子にあるまじき。
Yeah, I thought there was gonna be like some nice scene there. She just stopped it. Like he's like, get lost. There wasn't anything left to wish for now that Chukiji was dead. But yeah, I guess she wished for that. And then it happened. So we're back to normal now. I woke up to find myself on a wooden floor.
あれ、私なんでこんなところに？
I slowly picked myself up. This was the hall of the Kuonji estate. The grandfather clock told me it was almost 7 in the morning. At the edge of the foyer was a woman dressed like a nun, collapsed on the floor like me. Oh, she was just asleep. The mansion was quiet, but I could hear several noises if I strained my ears. There was the clinking of kitchenware, footsteps down the corridors, old doors creaking, and...
おい、どうなってんだこりゃ。なんで俺らクオンジの家で寝てんだ。起きろキノミ、話聞かせろ。
Tsukiji right there. A familiar voice echoed from the second floor. Somehow the tightness in my chest lightened and I stood up. To be honest, I was relieved. I glanced down and saw something like an eggshell and a note. There were just a few words on the note, scribbled in pink crayon.
恋に生きたっていいんじゃない？
Why not just live for love?
は？
Stupid, sweet brain. Even after you're dead, you're still a pain in the ass. Besides, I was too passive to do that. It's how I fell for your trap to begin with.
だよね。
Oh, it's the egg. The ploy. Sweet to heart stone was lively, yet strangely encouraging. Cracks began forming in the eggshell. And then it crumbled. Taking everything, even my memories, with it.
あれ、なんかあった気がするんだけど。
I picked up the note in front of me and frowned at it. Irritated by the presumptuous obnoxious scribbling, I crumpled it up and after a moment's hesitation, stowed it in my pocket.
お、クマリも来てるじゃねえか。どうなってんだこりゃ。パーティーの開始午前中に変更したのか。
There was a commotion coming from the stairs. Plus, the face of a guy I hadn't heard was coming. I quickly turned away and checked myself in a nearby mirror, a good nothing too out of place.
どうなってるか聞きたいのはこっちの方よ。クオンジさんの誕生会って本当に今日なの？招待状の日付間違えてたんじゃってあれ？
Where was this deja vu coming from? It must have been my imagination. It was awfully rare to have a birthday party out at the Kuonji estate. Our high school days were numbered. The season would be over before we knew it, so I had to make sure I finished with no regrets.
お、小鹿じゃん。お前も呼ばれたわけ？アリスちゃんと面識あったのかよ。
そりゃあるわよ。青崎と友達やってれば。てか少しは落ち着けホウスケ。あんたガキの頃から成長ないんだから。
おうおう、さすが幼なじみ。仲がいいことで。その調子で木の実をしつけてやれよ、くまり。周りと何より本人のためになるぜ。
いや、奥積まれたってお断り。労働と報酬が釣り合わないし、私無駄骨折ってる時間ないし。こいつ叩いても叩いても元通りになる形状記憶合金だし。
ちげえね。じゃあまあこいつはほっといてクオンジに挨拶に行くか。青崎とクオンジは今かね。
その前にあそこシスターが倒れてるぜ殿下。
Your Highness.
俺が抱き起こしちゃっていいかな。
いいんじゃねえの。最悪てめえが乗されるだけだし。
Tsukiji sounded like he was enjoying himself. He's traveled through the hall. Dust particles flitted in the air, appearing and disappearing in the rays.
まあそういうオチもいいっちゃいいか。
An oddly cheerful voice summed up her honest thoughts. The mad rhapsody drew to a close. She smiled in her own way, each to their own. Everyone had a choice to lament the little time one had left or to gamble on it. Perhaps to find things beautiful because they don't last. Someday this would all end, but not just yet. The jolly tale was simply another book to add to the shelf. Youth is both fleeting and never-ending. These stories of young boys and girls are full of hardship, yet unseen. Which means, my friends, we shall no doubt meet again, hopefully. It is over. I don't wanna... Let's turn off the music there. Because I'm not sure, maybe it's copyrighted again, right? But yeah, dude, that was seriously very, very fun. I'm not joking. Like this one, I was, what do you call this? Saying when we finished the main story that I wish that we had more scenes with the other characters. And even though this one was an extra story, or yeah, an extra side story, it was nice seeing all of them in one place and interacting with each other. My favorite ones in this one, or in this extra story, was Riddle and Ritsuka. They're very, very funny in this one. And I liked, what do you call this? They added a little bit of romance, I guess. Not totally, but they added that little stuff there. for Komari having a crush on Tsukiji. Yeah, we didn't really have any romance in the main story. But with that having, yes, just a little in this side story, in this extra story, it was pretty good. And I really did enjoy that. But all in all, this one was just, it was just fun. It was just pure fun. Not so serious. It was a murder mystery, but it was comedy as well. And it made it much more fun because, yeah, the comedic stuff and all. Especially Riddle, man. Hopefully we get a sequel to this one, to Witch and the Holy Night. Yeah, so for Witch and the Holy Night, they did say the setting for this one was before Tsukihime, right? But it's not really a prologue to Tsukihime, just the setting is before Tsukihime. So maybe we'll see some of the characters in Tsukihime, hopefully, but I guess it's just not gonna be a bigger role. But I do wish that we get a sequel to this game, a proper sequel, like a Witch and the Holy Night 2 or anything like that. I just want to see more of the characters. Aoko, Sojuro, Alice. I just want to see more of them, and yeah, hopefully we do in the future, right? Can we actually skip this? Maybe we can skip this one. Okay, I think we can. Okay, we can skip that. Finn. We finished it. Do we have anything more, by the way? I mean, I guess it's Finn. Oh, we got something more. 5 and 6. Okay, let's finish this up. Last two. Roar, the Great Tree. We got some wonderful word of Ploys to end the Let's Play. The Great Tree.
はい。この蒼天に浮かれてついタイトルコールを叫んでしまったっす。しかし指定場所に来たもののアリスさんの姿はなし。
いいえ、その必要はないわ。
Oh, she's here
私
now.
は昨日からビバーク中なのだから。
アリスさんなんすかその完全装備。ファッションから入るなんちゃって登山か。
Look at the zipper in Alice's jacket. It's huge.
アマチュアバード。
ビッケル。
山を甘く見ないことよ。渡り鳥が山越えをするとき、何割かは越えられずに脱落死する話を知らないのかしら。油断すれば即デッド。隙あらばこれキリング。それが神々の住まう頂への礼儀と知りなさい。
つまりいつもと何も変わらないってことっすね。
繰り返すわ。山と私を甘く見ないで。今日はいつもの2倍はやる気に満ちている。
やっべえ、なんかスイッチ入ってるっす。
さあ、なぜなにプロイの時間よ、ロビン。今日は気分がいいからとっておきの話をするとしましょう。
Okay, part 5.
ああ、ついに来たっすね。三大プロイグレート3について。アリスさんの母上のそのまた母上のそのまた母上の、とにかく初代っすね。初代の頃から伝わってきた3つの奇跡。それが三大プロイ。初めの魔女が作ったとされる偉大な賛否。橋の巨人テムズトロル。月の油フラットスナーク。3つ目はあれ何だったっす？
最後の一体はまだ秘密よ。今回はテムズの話をしましょう。元になったマザーグースはロンドン橋。ロンドン橋落ちた落ちた、ロンドン橋落ちた、マイフェアレディ。
The bridge giant, original form figurine of a lady.
日本語訳されて音楽の教材にもなっているから知っている人も多いでしょうね。
別名って落ちとらるっす。こいつザク相手にしか活躍してないっすよね。
相手が悪かったのよ。それに私との相性も悪いし、私が権限させられるのは2段階目まで。3番目と4番目の歌詞は未知の領域よ。
3番目と4番目ってなんすか？
ロンドン橋の歌詞よ。
The lyrics of London Bridge.
火と土は流される。レンガとモルタルは崩れてしまう。鉄と鋼は折れ曲がる。銀と金は盗まれる。テムズはロンドン橋のプロイだけど、時代に沿ってその在り方を変えてきた。だから今はマザーグース通り4種類の姿があるの。
ウッド、ストーンの他にまだ先があるんすね。でもいいっすか？こんな簡単に奥の手を晒しちゃって。
ええ、ロンドン橋の歌詞なんて今時調べれば誰だってわかるのだし。そもそも私どうあってもストーンまでしか使えないわ。ネタをばらしても支障はないでしょ。
どうして使えないんすか？
私人間の文明社会に興味がないもの。私の心象世界にある橋は木と石までということね。
なんと無敵のアリスさんにも弱点があったんすね。あ、いや、振り返ってみればそんなに無敵じゃなかったっすね。アリスさん負け星の方が多いっす。自分と恐るっす。でも風の噂によるとテムズトロルは世界屈指のゴーレムと聞いたっすよ。最高級のテムズトロルはどれくらい強いんすか？
そうね。テムズを最後まで建築できる魔女がもし現代にいるのなら、そのテムズは奥の手を出し切った青子でも倒しきれない踏破不可能の橋になるでしょうね。産業革命時のスモッグ都市ロンドン、その異名を上回る都市の巨人として権限するのだから。
へへへ、また大きく出たっすね。都市っすか。口だけなら何とでも言えるってやつっす。ハリスさん、その見えっ張りで負けず嫌いなところ直した方がいいっすよ。親愛なるプロイからの涙の忠告っす。
ありがとう。それじゃあ早速性格改善に付き合ってもらおうかしら。まずは口だけならというところから。出番よテムズ、あなたの力を見せてあげなさい。
Oh no, he's summoning it.
出落ち出たーというか、すでに出落ちの体の上だったっす。初めから自分に逃げ場はなかったっす。
そうよ。だから言ったでしょう。山を舐めるなと。
いや、そういう意味じゃなかった気がするっす。
Bye bye. She's gonna flick it away again. The bird. The robin. She didn't flick it away. She smashed him. Sponsor. Okay, they're flying back. Okay, one more. Last. Number 6. Magic Castle. Is that Alco? That was supposed to be Alco, right? Magic Castle in the Mist. Flat Snark.
この映画字幕が出てないっすね。自分ちゃんとセリフあるんすけど。
知ってるわ。でも耳障りだったから私権限で編集さんに
あなたのセリフだけカットしてもらったの。
グレイト。もう何もかもアリスさん中心なんすね。自分だけサイレント映画の気分っす。2体目っすね。
2体目ね。誤解されそうだから言っておくと、スナークの本体は液体よ。
スナークの2つな月の油っすね。フラットスナークの名前は誰がつけたんすか？
あなたもよく知っている彼女だけど、私彼女と仲良くなるまでプロイに名前をつけていなかったから。強い順とか思い入れがある順に1番2番と呼んでいただけだったの。
順番？番号じゃなくて？名前をつけないぐうたら。いや、シンプルさはアリスさんらしいっすけど、なんで順番？
だって番号をつけても混乱するだけでしょ。どれが強いかどれが好きかなんて日によって変わるのだし。だから気持ち次第でその日ごとに順番は違ったわ。1番はディドルが鉄板、テムズは大抵3番か4番だったわね。ああ、思い出した。彼女とプロイで遊んでいる時、それで困ったことになって。
アリス、明日新しいパパがやってくるの。だから6番のプロイを貸してちょうだい。私おめかしして出迎えたいの。
Riddle is here. She's gonna steal another ploy from her.
そう言った彼女に、私その日は気分的にこれは6番目と決めていたプロイを貸したわ。
もう大体分かったっすけど、一応聞いておくっす。それは何のプロイだったっすか？
後に彼女がゴブリンフロンと名付けるようになった香水よ。その香水をかけると一日悪口とスラングしか言えなくなるの。その後彼女はプロイに名前をつけるよう提案してきたわ。なぜか涙で赤くなった目で。これはスイーツハーツ、これはスクリプスハンプティ、これはディドルディドル、これはフラットスナーク。いい？これからはこの名前で統一するのよ。
Okay.
名は体を表すというでしょ。私そんな変換間違いのような名前よりその日の気分で分けた方が楽でいいと思ったのだけど。あんたの気分なんて他人には分かんないし、その度に私の運命が狂っていくことをもうちょっと気にしてちょうだい。それに近い将来こういう名前がトレンドになる時代が来るから、絶対すぐに飽きられるだろうけど。なんでどうせつけるなら生かした方がグッドでバッド。せっかく私たちだけのオリジナリティなのよ。ポップに流行らせなくちゃ大損だわ。それ以来私はプロイを名前で呼ぶようになった。いちいち名前を覚える手間はあったけれど、プロイを間違えることはなくなったわ。まさにコロンブスの卵ね。なんていう発想の柔軟さ、斬新さかしら。時々思うのだけど、あの子は天才ね。
そうっすね。自分も思うんすけど、アリスさんって時々すごくバカですよね。
Click. And then it burned down.
やられてしまったわね。
油穴だけによく燃えるっすね。スナークはどんなプロイなんすか？
本編で大体のあらましは語っているわ。細かなデータは
Oil of the moon. Oil. Said to be belly fat from a nomadic god dating back to the age of gods.
その貴重な油を青子さんは燃やしてしまったと。これなんとか戻せないんすか？
残念ながら不可能よ。この時代ではスナークを生成することはできない。
こうして貴重な文化遺産はフィーリングだけで生きている野蛮人に壊されていくんすね。しかし出落ちに続いてスナークもこのざまとか。何がグレート3っすか？甘え。グレート3は甘え。しかし自分やるプロイスから参拝を有効利用するっすよ。おーい外の店員さん、この残った油でとりあえずフライドポテトでもあげてくれ。
あら、あなたにしては明暗ねロビン。それじゃあ私はフライドチキンにしてもらおうかしら。
外のメニューホットドッグとポップコーンとポテトしかなかったっすよ。自分映画館はまず飲食店のメニューからチェックするはずから、だいたい映画館でフライドチキンとか匂いがブライっす。他のお客さんに迷惑っす。
知っているわ。でも安心して、私お腹は空いていないから、ただ油で揚げてもらうだけでいいの。
食事として頼むわけではないと。
高温で全身まんべんなく毛先から毛穴まで茹で上がるのは初めてなんじゃないかしら。また一つシーンコレクションが増えたわねロビン。
この世で一番増やしたくないレパートリーあざーすー。でも世界にはまだまだ未知のシーンが隠れているっすよ。
映画はここまでのようね。同時上映のある劇場も最近は減ってきたわね。最後に3体目の紹介をしたかったけど、それはまたの機会に。
Okay.
長かった本編を楽しんでくれた皆さん、すぐ終わるようでなかなか終わらなかった番外編に付き合ってくれた皆さん、魔法使いの夜はこれで一旦の終了となります。続きはまたいつかどこかで。それでは長らくのご視聴ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much. Yes, that was nice though. Alice saying thank you to everyone. Oh, it changed. Wow, look at that. It's different now. But yeah, I mean, did you love it? Honestly, I love this game. I love the story of it. This is more on... How do I say this? I really like this because of the characters. I did say this already, but I really like this because of the character. The characters were really good in this. I enjoyed them a lot, and I wish that we could get Witch and the Holy Night 2 somewhere, someplace, whenever, wherever, right? But yeah, as I said, going into this game, I did not expect it to be like this. I thought it was just gonna be like much more, let's say, action oriented, right? Because of, yes, Type Moon anime and stuff like that. So that was my first impression when I was like starting it. I was like, oh, we're gonna see a lot of action in this one, so it's gonna be fun. But yeah, it was totally different. Sure, we had some action. Let's say like 30% of the game was like battles, right? But yeah, for most of the part, it was, yeah, slice of life stuff. And I really did enjoy that. And it made it, what do you call this? Made it fun every single time we're having that. And the extra story we got at the end there that we just finished today. It was so good. But yes, this is it for Witch on the Holy Night. And hopefully, if you're watching this, thank you very much. And yes, hopefully you enjoyed the Let's Play. So, what's next? We'll do more Type Moon visual novels, Tsukihime, Fate Stay Night, those other stuff. And yeah, if there is a Witch on the Holy Night too in the future, we'll come back again and we're gonna learn, watch, read the story of Aoko, Alice, and Sojiro yet again. So for now, this is goodbye.